Alright, good morning. So here we are in our Ki-5 at Tier 2. I'd say that I'm seal clubbing, but I'm trying to complete some daily missions, and I got ×3 experience going into this Japanese pilot that I'm trying to build up for the Ki-84. So this is just one of a series of videos we're going to be doing, but taking this aircraft out, this is a mono wing. It features two 7.7 machine guns, so they're very small, light machine guns, but it gets a little bit more altitude, a little bit more speed to it. First place we're going to be heading is going to be the airfield, because strategically speaking, the airfield is going to be more helpful than the garrisons, because not only does it gain points towards capture the same as the garrisons do, but it also serves as a spawn point, which means it makes it more difficult for the enemy to know exactly where you're coming from, and if the enemy's attacking it, you can spawn right on it, so that's nice. And also a forward position to get those ground attackers further across the battlefield, because at this tier, things are just so slow. This is not the most nimble of aircraft at this tier. It sacrifices some of that maneuverability in order to be able to get that extra airspeed, which is why we're kind of whipping through and past these biplanes fairly easily. And we're just doing a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there. When I know the enemy's not going to be coming in to kind of steal a bunch of these kills, I'll put a lot of effort into damaging a bunch of aircraft, because that way, as I'm switching between all those different targets, the likelihood of them getting damage on me is a little bit lower because I'm constantly maneuvering. Now we're going to head for the center garrison just out of convenience. It's going to be the closest one. We see a bunch of enemies coming in there, and I feel fairly confident I'm going to be able to take these guys on. Now, don't think that that's just because we're at Tier 2 and, you know, I'm going to get him because I'm a Tier 2 and I've been playing this game a while, so I'm just kind of stomping on new guys. There is actually a fairly experienced player on the other team as well, and he's in a specialized XP31. So we do have a bit of a challenge on our hands. In fact, is that him? Yeah, that's him, XP31. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. I have queued him for my allies, so hopefully somebody will soften him up for me in the meantime, because I am not specialized in this plane. And like I said, it doesn't have the straight maneuverability, so it's more utility, the airspeed, that allows you to be able to get around, because I'm willing to bet that if he wanted to, he could just hammer down that boost and chase me down. I'm going to change my priority here to go after this multi-roll that's up here, because I'm worried he's going to drop down on me. And I'm not too worried about the ground attacker flipping the zone right away. So, he says, and then they flip the zone. It might not have been him. I'm willing to bet that was the XP31. We're going to soften up the area, take out a few of the enemy aircraft, because I am confident I'll be able to recapture this easily enough once this unlock comes to its finality. There's a specialized I-5 here too. Jeez, man, this is going to be a tough one. So we're able to kind of get the jump on this XP31, and he seems to be more concerned about going after that heavy. He might not have realized I was a human. We did a nice rollover maneuver to be able to get back on the tail of the I-5, and that flips the zone. There is a enemy aircraft here, kind of like almost stalling the aircraft by doing this like looping maneuver. It's like a very exaggerated kind of barrel roll that allows the enemy to kind of pass through the barrel, and then you can come in behind him. It's almost like braking, but you're not really slowing down the airframe as much as you're creating a longer distance of travel, so that way they'll surpass you because they have a shorter distance to go. You know, that whole concept of the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Well, I want to slow down, so I make it not a straight line, and that's the concept there. We are coming in on this heavy fighter, although it's actually a multi-roll, this 6I. So we took that one out, and now we're looking for another target, and I see there's the 31, and he is trying to get revenge on me here. I've already used my maneuverability consumable. I probably could have dipped away from here, or at least gotten out of the zone, but at this point I'm just trying to buy some time, and I wasn't sure if I could outmaneuver him. I don't remember the stats of the XP31. I do remember it being pretty good and specialized. I'm willing to bet that he's got the edge on me for maneuverability. We are starting to get to where our consumable's coming back. He does have some of the bot allies around me as well, the defenders. And there's a bot aircraft diving on me, and yeah, I'm out. But In the amount of time it took for all that, he wasn't going after my allies in the center. So now I can respawn back at our airfield. Again, a forward position, so it's easier for me to get to where I need to go. And we'll start out here and work our way probably over to the middle, I'm guessing, just because I want to try and hold that zone as long as possible. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Again, the airspeed is a bit of a utility feature. It allows you to be able to get across the battlefield a little bit better. We have better altitude performance as well, so. There's a Type 91 coming into my airfield. I want to maintain this airfield. That's our advantage right now, so we're going to get stuck in behind him. And here's one of the problems of being fast, is we're actually starting to overcome the aircraft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a turn maneuver here in order to vector in on his tail, just create some distance, and that allows us to be able to knock him out. Nice thing about these light machine guns is that it's fairly easy to start people on fire, and that was a Japanese aircraft anyway, so very low fire resistance. Multi-rolls, it doesn't seem like they have a lot of hit points by comparison to like the heavies and stuff, but when you compare it to a light fighter, you can see the time to kill goes up significantly enough that you really feel it with these little 7.7s trying to attrit away their health. We're going to work our way towards the mid. I didn't go to the mid. I was engaging the enemy at the airfield because I was trying to protect that, and now we've lost this site, so that kind of stinks. I do see this specialized aircraft coming in on me, and it's the 31 again. But I'm about to get my consumable back, and it looks like he's ignoring me trying to go for a different aircraft, so I'm going to put everything I have into getting this guy because I don't need him turning on me. And we'll hit that consumable, get that nose around just a little bit more. You can kind of see how it turned just a little bit sharper there, and that's why I prefer to use the consumables now that Postal and I have done some testing and determined that that little bit of an edge is worth it over the reliability of being able to get the pilot back up and running. That got us grade 2, not that hard to do at these tiers. You know, there's just so much, so many aircraft moving so slowly in such a tight area that once you get the game mechanics locked in, this is kind of easy mode for flight-wise. You know, can be difficult if you got two players that are experienced though, because you both have the same advantages, right? We did not get that kill, oddly enough. And we're going to look for some other aircraft to take out because it is squall lines, so there's a couple of these multi-rolls here. I do see two aircraft off to my right. I was thinking about going after the Type over here, but then I see that there is a multi-roll trailing behind him. Usually better to go for the trailing aircraft, otherwise you'll end up with the aircraft we just destroyed on our tail while we're trying to take out this Type 91, and with my airspeed advantage I can catch back up, so not an issue. But even if you don't have the airspeed advantage, it's usually advisable not to put an aircraft on your tail if you can avoid it. Alright, taking out these ground attackers is just going to give us a little bit more edge for not having to worry about these sites getting taken super easily, because that ground attacker actually has a 50 cal machine gun, which is very powerful at this tier, and it can carry 9 air-to-ground rockets. Taking out that plane just got us grade 1 fighter. And we're going to be looking for an easy target here. Now there's an AO-192 Heavy. I am worried he's going to be diving on me, so I'm actually getting low to force him into a situation where he may ground his own aircraft out, so he's going to have to pull up earlier. That is a good way to try and counter some of the heavies that might be diving on you, is get low, put yourself into terrain, make it so they got a very steep dive angle, because how many times have you ever sent your aircraft straight into the ground because you weren't ready to pull up because you put yourself in a bad dive? Overcommitted, right? Speaking of overcommitted, we just rammed with Roger Dat and we lost our aircraft, but at this point I'm not too concerned about it because, as you can see, the battle is essentially over. We're just waiting for the ticker to finish rolling over. Inadvertent click on that airfield actually, but let's go ahead and get to the hangar and take a look at these post-game results, because that is a very impressive personal point score for even tier 2. Alright, totally shameless, fully admit that, but what a great fun battle. Like, it was just fun, and even here we got a nice little, yeah, that was a good game, man, good game. I'm doing this because I wanted to get some more XP for my Ki-84 pilot. We managed to rake in nearly 11,800 and some change. And then you can also see here we were working our way towards Sting Like a Hornet. We were getting our points towards March of Nations. And being that these are low tier, it is so easy to specialize. So for you guys that are working towards, you know, just figuring out how to play the game, you're still in the early tiers, it's actually really cheap and very easy to do a specialization if you want to at these lower tiers. So if you want to test it out and see how you like it or if it's worth the investment of time and effort, I suggest doing it on one of these lower tier ones just because it's so quick and easy to do by comparison to some of the higher tiers. Like this is only like what, 54 kills, and we got, oh geez, how many we get? We get like 17 kills, 13 of which were against enemy aircraft. So yeah, really strong performance, and it was a lot of fun. We were definitely up against another player who's been playing a while in his XP31, and he was specialized, and we were able to take him on, and I believe the I-5 was actually specialized as well. So I don't feel bad kind of coming in here and playing against these guys because there's a lot more people are matriculating through the different tiers because there's a lot more people available. If you're not familiar with the Ki-5, it's a mono wing. I feel like it's a little bit faster than a lot of the other tier 2s that are out there, but you know, now I might be making up lies here. So let's pull up the demon here and see how he's doing. Yeah, it is. It's a little bit faster as a base speed, the Ki-5, and then the altitude performance is actually a bit higher as well. So you're sacrificing in the sense that the guns feel kind of weak because they're these two 7.7s and they're just not pumping out nearly as much. See the demon here gets a little bit more range, so you get those shots on earlier. But it's a neat looking plane. It's, you know, that old wooden prop design. It's kind of cool looking. So if you're wondering what this plane was, since I wasn't really talking about it too much during the battle, and it is a true tail dragger because you see the tail here, it doesn't even have a wheel. It actually was meant to skid across a grass or a dirt strip. As a little bonus though, we can go ahead and throw in here the supply crate because I haven't gotten a weekly supply crate in a while. See what we get here. I think I actually got this plane from one of these crates. So ooh, got some free XP, got a few components, and we also got the Upgrade Implementation 3. Upgrade Implementation 3. Is that one of these? Yes, it is. Upgrade Implementation for Aircraft Experience. Okay, cool. We've got a few of these, so it's nice to have that. It'll allow you to be able to get more XP towards an aircraft. Doesn't mean much for me right now since I don't have any aircraft I need to unlock. I've got them all unlocked at this point, minus a few here and there that are kind of in between tech trees, but really it'll help when new tech trees come out, so I'm going to hold those for when there might be another opportunity. But thanks for tuning in, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one.